Okay, 31. Yoga and stretching. Just do it. Go to some classes, warm up, stretch every single day, because you release the stress and you release the tension. You become more flexible and you're able to just move things around easier. So when you get home from work and then you want to get up and move, you're flexible and you've stretched and you warmed up. Everything's just easier. I let go of all the tension and the stress, because I don't know why we carry in our necks and our shoulders all the stress and adrenaline, because I think it's acid from where you're working all day. So just do it. Number 32, your circle of influence. Great book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. He talks about in that you have the things under your control and the things that aren't in your control. You have to just focus on the things that you can control. So worrying about things, for example, that aren't going to happen, or getting angry with things, or thinking about things, even the thoughts, directing your focus on what's important to that is diverged by things. So don't focus on stuff that isn't in your control. So you might be annoyed with say government policy or something you don't agree with. Just don't worry about it. Literally do what you can. If say a political thing, share stuff on Facebook, hand out flyers for your favourite political party, or contact your local MP. Actually do little bits towards it. But if something you can't actually do, don't focus on it, because you give your energy to it. Especially just really get that kind of under control in your mind. Number 33 is ask for help, is trade ideas. You can be excellent at one thing or two things or a couple of things, but not everything, as they say. Jack of all trades, master of none. So a mistake I made was I spent a lot of time working on my website trying to figure it out. I would have been much better off to pay somebody to do the website for me, but I should have just, my idea with it was I wanted to have it looking in a certain way. I should have just got it on paper and drawn it out and said, there you go, and let them do it. So you trade what you're good at with someone else. Don't learn stuff you don't need to learn if you're not going to do it. Because I'm only going to build 1 or 2 websites. I'm not going to build many more. So there's no point going through that learning curve. So the learning curve is generally what takes a lot of energy. So yeah, swap with people, trade, and just ask for help. You'd be surprised how many people enjoy helping a lot of the time. Not everyone is massively busy, and it's one of the greatest satisfactions is helping other people, and people like to help, like really. So don't be afraid to ask. Number 34 is mental failure. You can get to a certain point. I'm not talking about burnout, but you have limits of where you can go. So you can break through them too, like bodybuilding. You lift weights until your muscles fail, and then they get bigger and they get stronger, and you keep going up to that point of failure of no return. Your mind is the same. So the key point is that you recover, that you go on holiday, that you then take a long time resting. But each time you push that limit, you can do more, you can work longer hours, but you build your way up to it, and you must recover. So your brain's like a muscle in some ways. You're 35, make things matter now. Plan out the rest of your life till you're 80. Yeah, and work backwards. Think of all the things you want to do, and coming down to now, you'll see the urgency of how every decision affects your future. A lot of people just say, yes, live in the moment, think day to day, which is fine. Living in the moment is great, and you should enjoy life for now, but also be aware of the future. Living in the moment is kind of like it's great. Well, the real meaning of that is fantastic, but also think about the future. And then when you can really plan out everything and you actually commit it on paper, then you can see, oh, this decision this year. Otherwise, the days just go by and you haven't got that urgency. Like when you've got an exam and you're studying, or you did coursework and you're full of adrenaline a couple of days before the deadline, you have all that extra energy, so use that. 36, abundance versus scarcity. There's 2 ways of looking at the world. One is that there's enough, and one that there isn't enough to go around. One's fear-based, one's more confidence-based. So, for example, money, there's more money available today than there ever has been. So, when we're constantly bombarded about the recession and all these different issues, people have a mindset of like there's not enough to go around, but really there is. Like when you think from a scarcity, you're worried about things you don't need to worry about. You don't see the possibilities, the limits. If you believe, oh yeah, my business won't be set up because there's no point going to business now because there's recession, no one's got any money, It's true people are a lot poorer, but that's still an opportunity. Look at how many pound shops or 99p stores got set up if people's needs change. So there is infinite amount of like possibilities. Just think about that. Like everything around you see is an idea. It's an idea that someone had. You like it's a creative, competitive mindset. In business, you're taught in college and university, and even from the great books, you have to compete. You have to have the best brand, right? But the best ones, they don't do that. They innovate. They make something new. They create. So create, don't compete, basically. And when you go into an abundance mindset, you relax. You're not fretting. You're not worrying. You're not doing all those panicky things. You slow down, you pause, and you think differently. You think. That's my cat. Very loud scratching. Yeah, I'll talk about that more later on anyway. Surround yourself with different people, very important. People lift you up, people give you a buzz, they make you laugh, you make them laugh. It's all wonderful. Remember to do it. Like it's good for you. You do get more energy that way. It's part of you need it as a human a lot of the time. Like it's not such as a want. It's important for your psychological health. Modeling. So you're gonna spend energy to try and get to a certain point. Say you're getting really good at football. Unconsciously, we have what's called mirror neurons. So we learn, we pick up stuff. This is the best way to explain it. They did a study where they got a man to drink some water. Yes, I have some. Sign the piece of paper and do like I think it was a maths sum. He was wired up to these different things. Then the experiment said thank you very much, and he came over. The experimenter then drank the water while the guy was watching, did a signature, and then did a maths sum on a piece of paper in front of him. And they noticed when the man watched the experimenter do the same thing, the same circuits in his brain fired off as to when he actually did it himself. It's the monkey see, monkey do. It's why when you hang around with people, you pick up their accent. It's why siblings are so similar a lot of the time. We unconsciously pick up the neurons. So if you want to get a skill set, it's best to go around and model the people and unconsciously don't think. Modeling, how you do that is you're around the person and you just watch basically. You don't think. You go into that state. You micro muscle mirror their body language. So ask them, say, show me how you do that. Again, I kind of want to copy you. If I don't know, you're soaring or you're putting up a shelf, whatever it is. Well, I can't even think now. But that's how you do it. It's the quickest way to learn, rather than having to go through learning how to type a keyboard. You just pick things up. So it's a quicker way of learning. 39 is have faith. I will talk about that in my mindset video. And embrace spirituality, but not too much. Like, spirituality is amazing, and what it is, it's not religion. It is the understanding the oneness of life, the interconnectivity between human beings, the spark, and seeing the spark and the life in someone's eyes. It's that, that whole side of life, really. So it's fantastic and it's great, and you will get more energy when you have that connectedness between people, and it's almost like you do tap into something greater than yourself when you think about things outside of you and your needs and for community. Don't want me, but not too much. It's basically, a lot of people I've noticed who are into spirituality say it's fine, everything's going to be okay. Like that's that kind of, I'm going to be taken care of, which was something I said for a long time, and I did. Things were alright, so things will be alright, things are alright. Then I was thinking, hang on a minute, I want things that more than alright. I want the best that life can give me. I really want to do all these great ideas that I have. So I'm going to say, right, well, I'm going to make life amazing. So reframe that. Don't just settle for, yeah, things are going to be okay, because they will if you want things okay. But if you want things amazing, you need to make it happen. So that's the only part of that. So there you are. Now I'll go on to the next one.